Hello there, world of tankers. Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, I'll be playing in the Tier 10 American Collector Heavy, the SPHT. A week ago, I made my initial opinions on this vehicle, talking about its strengths, weaknesses, and why I considered it to be pretty dang OP. But now that I've played 85 games in the tank and gotten my 3 mark completed just a few moments ago, well, I'm sitting at 76% win rate solo with 3,700 average damage. That's pretty crazy. It actually makes me the #1 ranked SPHT player, and I also have the highest damage recorded in the vehicle so far at 8,116 damage. So yeah, it's very easy to say that this tank is pretty dang crazy. Now, what's interesting is that a lot of skilled players don't actually do great in this tank, and I think the simple reason why is because a lot of people play passive. This is not the kind of tank you want to play passive in. Skilled players generally don't like to trade, they like to conserve their hit points. That is not what you should be doing in this tank. You should be playing frontline, you should be throwing your health away and distracting so that your team can get victories. I mean, 76% solo in this meta is a pretty crazy win rate. And not only that, but this tank has an incredibly high gun mark bar. It actually has the highest gun mark value in tier 10 currently. It's 289 XP, which beats the G-Sor the tank by a substantial amount and every other tier 10. But it's not really that surprising. When you have 3,500 hit points, 2,750 DPM, and a surprisingly good top speed of 36, I mean, where's the downside? Sure, the armor's not amazing on this tank, but it's also not bad. I would say on the average game I play, I'm at least blocking 1,500 and at minimum 1,000. And when you're blocking damage, and in return you have a gun that has 380 mils of heat pen, 8 degrees of gun depression, and pretty troll armor, yeah, this tank's pretty stupid. It's really stupid. I don't know what Wargaming was thinking releasing this tank. I think that the proper solution would have been to make the gun have less DPM. That alone would have solved it being overpowered. Instead of having 2,700 DPM, give it like 2,200. And then you can give it maybe a little bit better reverse speed and slightly better accuracy, but it would solve the major problem of this tank getting away with whatever it wants. I mean, how do you counter this thing? That E50 has 1,700 health, which means that if you double their health, they still have less than me. And not only that, but I have good DPM, so I'm out trading that E50. He's gone. I get shot by the 2 and 5. I don't really care. You can see the IS-4 bounced me twice, shooting me at the track, so I'm going to get a shell right into his lower plate. This IS-4 currently has about 1,000 less health than me. And not only does he have 1,000 less health than me, but he also has a lot less DPM. I've got my adrenaline cooking, and we gotta wait just a few more seconds to get another shell into the rear of the IS-4. I was trying to shoot him in the track wheel, but he just wasn't showing me it. But we're already up to 2,400, and the enemy 183 is out of the game. Then we aim in on the side of the IS-4. Nice 380 damage into that player. And while he does pen me in return, oh no, I have 2,800 health left, and you are dead. Yeah, yeah, I'm not really sure what to say. Well, we have a 2-1-10-E5 and an FE2 and 5B in front of me, so we're going to go push these players and see what we can do. Generally, if you wanted to increase your gun mark in the SPHT, you would have to average also. That right there is some of the worst RNG I've ever seen. But what's funny is even though I've been shot by the E5 and my shell missed, I still have about the same health as he did, full health. So really, the E5 still, you know, has 0 chance of beating me. Even if the enemy WZ, or my teammate WZ, didn't shoot him, I still don't see any world where this E5 would have beaten me. I have the same DPM, but I have more health. And this thing also weighs a lot. That E5 slightly tapping me lost 60 hit points. So, I'm going to get a shell into the 2 and 5B because getting kills is the most important way to increase your gun mark. I'm going to back up so that I have the opportunity to kill him, and there you go. 4,500 damage, 3 kills, and the enemy 60 TP gets taken out just like that. This was a pretty solid game, but to be honest, this is pretty much the average game I played in the SPHT. It's pretty dang stupid. I don't know what Wargaming was thinking with this vehicle. I really don't. I mean, the correct answer is they weren't really thinking. I have aced this tank an insane amount of times. We can see that I've aced it 41 times out of the 85 games I've played, which means that I'm literally sitting at almost a 50% ace rate in this vehicle. Kinda dumb. But here we are on Himmelsdorf. We have, I think, that same E5 up against us, and apart from that, a VK-72, so not too much in terms of the hit point department. While this vehicle may feature a surprisingly high top speed, its power-to-weight ratio and especially its traverse speed are really bad, and it does make this thing incredibly vulnerable to mediums and especially autoloaders. Even though you have 3,500 health, it still really hurts when an autoloader takes a third of your HP away in one clip, and those are still by far the biggest threat you'll be going up against. Thankfully, you have so much health that you can take a whole clip from an autoloader and then just push it. I can't tell you how many times I've played in this vehicle and like a cron will make an over aggression. It'll try and clip me. It'll pen 2, 3 of its shots. But then I'll just push the cron. I'll put on my adrenaline that gives me over 3,000 DPM, and I'll have about the same health after the cron clips me that cron starts with. So generally, the autoloader loses every single time. And because of that, yeah, it does make this tank pretty dang wild. So we can see that E5, and I was assuming that, you know, there's no way this E5 went alone to this flank on the map, but nothing got spotted. And our medium flank over there has already spotted 2 vehicles, so I'm just going to keep moving up. E5 bounces me, he's going to reverse, and now I'm going to poke him. So let's do that right now. Aiming in, boom. Nice 384. My E75 pokes, bounces the E5, but that's okay. We're going to shoot this E5 again right in the lower plate. That's 800 health we've taken off that player, and I don't even care if he shoots me. It really doesn't matter. He has 1,500 health, I have 3,000. I get another shell into the E5 lower plate. I mean, how is this fair? You know, how is this fair? What is this E5? Even if the teammates weren't here, what is that E5 supposed to do? I mean, I would have killed him and still probably had 2,000 health, maybe 1,500 health left. It's really stupid. Tried shooting the VK-72, however, reticle lag didn't even let my shell get close to where I was aiming. So we're not going to be able to hit that player, so let's scooch on up. What do we have? Well, there's still a lot of vehicles left on the enemy team. Pretty healthy VK, TS-60, Grill. Honestly, all of the tanks on the medium flank are very healthy for the enemies. So what I need to do is I need to get over here as quickly as possible. And this is where having that 36 km/h top speed is quite nice, because you don't struggle to get into position. A mouse would have really struggled. Now we're going to aim it on the lower plate of that Sheridan, and unfortunately it goes into the track, so that sucks. We lost out about, you know, 400 damage there. But that's okay. For some reason, the Sheridan's going to poke me again, and sure, they hit me for 602, but bro, I still have 2,500 health left, and not only that, I have more DPM than you, so you've lost now about 1,000 health to shoot me for 600. What was the thought process there? You know, that's one of the things I've noticed a lot of people doing is they'll poke this tank and they don't really think about it, right? I mean, this Grill, for example, I've lost 1,400 health in this game, and I still have a substantial amount more than this Grill. So I get a nice shell into their vehicle, and I decide at this point, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to push the Grill. What's he going to do? Kills my driver, high rolls a lot. I don't care. I'm going to track him, which stops the Grill from moving, and now I'm going to drive full speed into him, taking off an additional 230. Then I'm going to back up. I'm going to move a little bit more. He's not running small liner. There's 570, and I love tap him again for another 55, and I love tap him one more time, taking him out of the game. That puts me up to 4,667 damage, and all that leaves us with is the enemy TVP 5051. So I'm going to push this player as fast as I can. We're up to 30 km/h now. Keep on going, and boom. Nice 396. TVP takes my teammate out of the game, but that's fine. I give him a nice little love tap, and there you go. TVP's out of the game. That's 3 kills, over 5,200 damage. And again, an incredibly easy victory for this vehicle. I wasn't even close to running out of hit points, too. That's the crazy part. So this battle brought me up 2% on my gun mark, bringing me to 94.49. And that brings us to the final battle to 3-mark this tank on New Bay. Only 2 heavies, but they also have 2 T110 E4s. So technically it's like 4 heavies. The problem with the E4 is it doesn't have a lot of health. That's really where this vehicle excels, is when you're up against a bunch of heavies, especially super heavies, because you have way more DPM, penetration, and overall capabilities than, like, an E100 or a mouse. And, like, don't get me wrong, those vehicles can be strong if played properly, but, like, seriously, what are you supposed to do in a mouse against this thing? It's pretty silly. So, what are we going to do here? Well, I was going to originally go towards A side because that's where a lot of my mediums wanted to go, but there's no way I'm driving alone to A flank with only 2 mediums as support. So I'm going to head over towards town, get a nice shell into the side of the E100, a horrible roll, 320. And right now, I was really hoping that the enemy heavies weren't going to get bled out. That's the problem with any slow heavy, is that if your teammates bleed out the enemy, you're going to be struggling to deal damage. So I'm just going to keep on going and going and going, and finally we get over here, and we get a nice shell into the enemy Kampfpanzer 70. Now, in retrospect, I should have just backed up, but we can see that the armor on this vehicle is not very special. That KPZ goes directly through my turret. Oh, I didn't want to do that, but you can see the shell. If I go down, the shell's right there. It went directly through the turret. Generally, people aren't going to struggle to pen you. If they aim for your turret, they'll cut right through. Another amazing roll, by the way. We literally rolled that guy 380 instead of the 381 health he had, so I had to fire another shell to kill that 1 health E100. Kampfpanzer doesn't even aim, literally just goes right through me. So, as I said, the armor on this tank, it's not great. Generally, if you are even half decent at the game, you're not going to struggle to cut through this thing. But it doesn't really matter. I've lost about 1,500 health, but I still have 2,000 hit points left. That's still a lot of health. And that's what's so stupid, is you can just drive and drive and drive, and the enemy can't do anything to you because you have so much HP, it's nearly impossible to actually deal with this thing. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And now we're going to move into position. Now, I was a little worried here. The enemy team has 2 E4s, a Progetto, a Lion, a Caro. They have an incredibly cringe lineup. 3 auto-reloading mediums that are all able to basically full health kill me in just a few seconds if they work together. The last thing I want to do is drive towards that Caro, have the E4, the Lion, and everything else demolish me. So I'm just waiting to see what's going to happen here. But now that the line gets spotted up top and the E4 is over at base C, same for the Progetto. Oh, my game stopped working there for a second. We're good. But yeah, I wanted to push this car out. Now, unfortunately, my E6 drove into me for a second there, which slowed me down a bit. But we're going to speed on up and keep on going. And boom, there you go. Nice 447. We get a bounce from the Caro. That's actually our first bounce of the game. And, well, we're not going to be able to get a shell into the Caro. You can see that really bad traverse speed. I mean, this is hard terrain, and look, that's still pretty slow. So in terms of mobility, oh, nice shot in there to the Progetto, but you can definitely see the mobility of this tank. It's not the best. It's definitely better than like an E100 or a Mouse, but it's definitely not, you know, compared to like an E5, a Concept. It's still pretty slow. And you can see uphill, it's struggling to go past like 26. And this isn't even a very large hill. But we've already shot the E4 once. However, there's 2 E4s, and that's not great. So I'm just going to chill here, and we're going to see what this E4 does. We got a pen. We angle the hull. E4 bounces right off my upper plate. That gives us 1,000 damage blocked, and now we're going to aim it on the E4's lower plate and take him out of the game. Then we have the next E4, who we are also going to aim in on. 3, 2, 1. Boom, right into the track, which will give me some assistance damage. And let's see. Our teammate in the Lion gets the clear. So just like that, I've dealt another 4,000 damage, another ace, and another really solid battle for the SPHT. I mean, yeah, this tank's ridiculous. I'm not really sure what else to say. The level of hit points paired with the DPM and everything else, it just allows the SPHT to be crazy good. And you don't even have to take my word on it. As I said, just look at the 3-mark value. It's 289 XP to 3-mark the tank, which makes it the highest 3-mark vehicle. I mean, the Atlas is only 240 XP to mark. The 60 TP, 239. I mean, the average tier 10 is really, really low to 3-mark. Any of them. The tank destroyers are 220. Even if we get vehicles like the Rhino, only 255. That is substantially less than this tank. The highest 3-mark value vehicles I can think of are G-Sword the tank. I need to finish this one, which is 280, and also the Felice, where I don't even know where the Felice is, but the Felice is pretty high as well. But honestly, I don't consider the Felice to be as good. Yeah, the Felice is 275. So, like, the point being, this thing is by far the you know, best tank in tier 10 right now. That's really it. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.